Hello people, welcome to the channel. UFC 298 went down last night. Fantastic card. If it hit like crack after the last couple of fight nights we've had and after 297 in Canada. And I'm here to talk about it. We're going to talk about some of the fights on the main card. We're going to talk about what went down, how it went down, and just, rant a little bit. First things first, to stroke my ego a tiny bit, I did very well on predictions for this card, going 10 for 12. I got Kopylov versus Hernandez wrong, and I got Lemos versus Dern wrong. And I got 6 of the 10 I got right, exactly right, meaning like how and what round. And those 6 being Maverick, Elliott, DeLima, Merab, Gary, and Topuria, all exactly how they were going to win. But the first fight I really want to talk about when it comes to UFC 298 is going to be Merab Dvalishvili versus Henry Cejudo. Merab loses the first round, although it was very competitive. Then he absolutely mogs Henry Cejudo for the final 2. Pictured on screen is him picking him up and like Farmer carrying him over to Mark Zuckerberg. He had him in like a guillotine, looking at Zuckerberg, like smiling and like sticking his tongue out and shit. I love Merab. That was really funny. It's hilarious. And this was a dominant performance by Merab over Henry Cejudo. We already know his accolades, double champ, Olympic medalist, blah, blah, blah. This is big, obviously. Secures his already deserved title shot versus the winner of Cheeto and Sean O'Malley. And I think Merab might just Merab O'Malley and win the title. In my Who's Going to Be Champion at the End of 2024 video at the beginning of the year, I did say that Sean might knock him out. But seeing Merab outstrike Cejudo this well, plus the takedowns and the cardio, I think he will end up just being too much for Sean O'Malley, But yeah, Merab retires Cejudo. I would have thought they were going to give him a little bit of mic time, Henry Cejudo, but they didn't. It's whatever. That's what you get for retiring twice. And he'll go back to the retirement home where he belongs. Maybe he'll just like corner people, be a coach. I think he could be a decent coach. And he did look good in this fight. Like if he wanted to stay around for like the paycheck fights, he could definitely still, hang around the top 10. I think there's no doubt about that. Maybe like win one, lose one in the top 10, top 15 for a little bit, but he could stay around for the paychecks. But he says he's all about, championship ambition and stuff, and there's no championship in his future at 35 or 45. No chance. So, all that being said, great fight. One of the better fights on the card. Moving up, I'm going to talk about Ian the Vegan Mangato Cherry versus Jeff Neal. Derek Cleary, the judge who gave it to Jeff Neal, you didn't watch this fight. I don't even like Ian Gary. I did predict him to win, but I was rooting for Jeff Neal, and there is zero. I didn't give Jeff Neal a single round. I thought the other two judges who had it 30-27, Ian Gary, got it 100% right. It was a boring fight, the most boring fight on the main card in my opinion, but I think the talking point of this fight has to be, what the fuck was Derek Cleary watching? In my opinion, I have seen some people say that Jeff Neal won a round. I've seen people say he won rounds 1 and 2. Round 1 maybe, but no, I think 30-27 Ian Machado Gary calls out Colby Covington. Now I do think there's no chance that Colby Covington is going to take that fight, but if he takes that fight, that'd be great. I think Ian Machado Gary has a good chance of winning that fight. I think Colby Covington probably couldn't, but he could win that fight. It would be very interesting. The lead-up will be good. The trash talk will be good. But I really think, especially given his ranking, it's going to be like, I think like maybe 8, 7 max. I don't really see Colby Covington fighting down in the rankings unless he is literally held at gunpoint. I think he's going to try to get... Well, he could get the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fight, but we're talking about a whole other dude right now, I think he wants, like, Shavkat or something, and to try to wiggle his way back to the title. But Ian Machado Gary, decent performance. Boring, got the job done. 30-27. Now, let's talk about the co-main event of the evening. Robert Whittaker defeats Paulo Costa by a 29-28 unanimous decision, I believe it was. I think you could make an argument that it was 30-27 because other than the wheel kick shown on screen and the little barrage afterwards, I think the entire first round was Whittaker, and then rounds 2 and 3 were also Whittaker. But I am a guy who will give a round just for a moment like that, and he had, like, if there was 30 seconds left in the round, we may have seen Robert Whittaker get put away in the first round. Had him on Crip Street, wibbling, wobbling. So, definitely round 1 to Paulo Costa. Rounds 2 and 3 to Robert Whittaker, but they both look good. This was a banger. This was probably fight of the night to me. Shout out to Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Lemos, though, I guess. But this was a banger. It lived up to it. Paulo Costa, despite the little bit of a time off, looked really, really good. Costa's footwork and his head movement looked a little bit slow, a little bit plotty, but his kicks, his jab, his kicks were lightning fast. His jab looked good, and again, almost knocked Whittaker out in the first round. He had a good, Costa's chin held up. Whittaker was landing good jabs, lots of heavy shots, and no man went down. I did predict Whittaker to put him away in the third round. Got that one wrong, but I did at least predict the winner correctly. And in terms of who I think these guys should have next, I think give Paulo Costa maybe the give him the winner of Vettori Allen. If it's Brendan Allen, that'd be a good fight. If it's Marvin Vettori, see if he can get his loss back, and give Robert Whittaker Hamzat as a title eliminator bout, in my opinion. Now, moving up on the card to the main event, El Matador, Mr. Manifestation, gets the job done by second round knockout, exactly how I predicted it, down to Alexander Volkanovski winning the first round, at least in my opinion. I believe also on the judges' scorecards. He won the first round with the jab, with the low kicks, with the teep kicks and head kicks too. He was really trying to set up a high kick because, you know, Ilia Topuria showed a little bit of a weakness in defense to head kicks against Jai Herbert. Gets close enough that Volkanovski thought he was going to high guard up, shelled up with him. Good defense. Sends a vicious combination ending that first round. Right there with over the shoulder. Really hurt the leg of Alexander. Never seen it coming. Almost took him off his feet, spun him around, slumped him over. He was out for a couple of minutes. It just really shows the power and bounce the fast around, get into that boxing range of Ilia Topuria. When in, he is and new featherweight UFC champion. Congrats to Ilia Topuria. It was an absolutely fantastic fight. He really showed that he is on that level. You know, putting in his Instagram bio, 15-0 UFC featherweight champion, making his movie Road to the Belt. He really was showing all his confidence, showing all of his manifestation moving into this fight. And it really is, you can either say that he still needs to be humbled, or you could say that it's really inspiring. I honestly take inspiration from him. He says, Joe, I work so hard. So, shout out to Ilia Topuria, man. Now, Volkanovski, does he have no chin anymore? He might not even have a chin. Islam might have taken his chin back in October, and now he's sent off into obscurity. I do think Volkanovski deserves the rematch. He's been so dominant at featherweight, hasn't lost at featherweight until now. So book the rematch for Spain, main event, rematch. Love it. But yeah, guys, absolutely banging card. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments. Subscribe if you love all things MMA. I will be posting a video either tomorrow or Tuesday talking about Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill being announced for the UFC 300 main event. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, and go slip.